Hey everyone, welcome back to Car Flash, the place where car reviews stay brutally honest, completely unfiltered, and always focused on what a real driver actually experiences. If you're new here, this is the channel where we don't repeat marketing lines, we don't sugarcoat flaws, and we definitely don't hype a car unless it actually deserves it. And today, we're diving into a car that might be one of the most important electric vehicles of the decade, the 2026 Tesla Model 1. Tesla calls it the affordable EV for the masses, the car that could finally make electric ownership accessible to almost everyone. So the question is, does it live up to that promise? Or is this just another round of big talk? Let's get into the full real-world review. Exterior. The first thing you notice when you see the 2026 Model 1 in person is how different it looks from every previous Tesla. It's smaller, more compact, and honestly more stylish than I expected. Tesla didn't go for a cheap car look, even though this is their entry-level EV. At the front, the design is clean and modern with the smoother, rounder shape. There's no grille, obviously, but the overall front fascia has more character than the Model 3 ever did. The headlights are slim and sharp, almost like they're squinting, giving the car a slightly aggressive expression. The LED signature looks really premium at night, and the lower bumper has integrated airflow channels that actually help with cooling and aerodynamics rather than just being fake decoration. Even though this is the smallest Tesla, it doesn't look like a budget build from the front. It looks like a tiny futuristic pod ready to zip through traffic. Then you move over to the side, and that's where the Model 1 really stands out visually. Its proportions are compact but sporty, with a short nose, a sloping roof line, and a body shape that feels more like a futuristic hatchback than anything else. Tesla kept the design minimal and no unnecessary creases or dramatic lines. I bet the simplicity works. The flush door handles return, the ones that pop out when you approach with your phone key. The wheels come in 17 or 18-inch aero designs that look surprisingly good for efficiency-focused wheels. And here's something interesting. Because this car is much smaller than the Model 3 or Y, it looks more proportionally aggressive with larger wheels. The side mirrors are redesigned to a smaller, more aerodynamic and in some markets Tesla is even offering digital mirrors, depending on regulations. When you see the Model 1 from the side, it looks like a little spaceship, compact but futuristic. The back of the car completes the look with one of the cleanest rear designs Tesla has ever done. There's a full light bar running across the hatch, connecting both taillights, and it gives the car a very premium appearance at night. The rear window is slightly larger than what you get on the Model 3, improving visibility, and the spoiler is seamlessly integrated into the roof. The bumper design is simple. No fake exhaust cutouts or weird patterns, it's just a clean, smooth look. And even though the car is small, the hatchback layout makes the cargo area surprisingly functional. The opening is wide, the floor is flat, and you can fold the rear seats if you need extra room. It's honestly more practical than many compact gas hatchbacks. Interior. Now stepping inside the Model 1, you instantly notice Tesla's design philosophy going even more minimal than before. The entire dashboard is basically clean lines with a central 12.3-inch touchscreen floating in the middle. This is the only screen. There's no gauge cluster behind the steering wheel, no backup physical buttons, nothing. Everything happens on the touchscreen, from climate control to drive mode to mirror adjustments. For new EV owners, this might feel a bit overwhelming at first, but Tesla redesigned the user interface to make everything more intuitive. The menus are cleaner, icons are bigger, and the layout feels more friendly. The animations are also incredibly smooth thanks to Tesla's updated infotainment hardware. The steering wheel is a small, round wheel and no yoke this time, but you still get Tesla's stockless gear shifting. You swipe on the left side of the screen to select drive, reverse, or park. Some people love it, some don't, but after a few days, most drivers get used to it. The seats are surprisingly comfortable for a compact EV. Tesla uses a new lightweight synthetic material that feels softer and more breathable. Front seat space is excellent because of how the dashboard is pushed forward. Rear seat comfort is good for average height adults, though taller passengers will feel the roof line. The cabin feels airy thanks to the large glass roof that comes on higher trims. Storage is well thought out too. You get a decent center console, 2 deep cup holders, large door pockets, and yes, a small frunk. It's not huge, but it's enough for a backpack or charging cables. The rear cargo space is surprisingly generous for this class, making the Model 1 ideal for city use, groceries, daily commutes, and even weekend trips. Performance. But the biggest question everyone always wants to know: how does it drive? Even though the Model 1 is Tesla's cheapest car, it still delivers that instant-to-work fun. The standard range model has a single motor making around 180 horsepower, which doesn't sound insane on paper, but because of the instant-to-work and light body, the car feels quick and responsive. It hits 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in around 7 seconds, and for a city-focused EV, that's plenty. The long-range dual-motor version is where things get more exciting, with nearly 250 horsepower and all-wheel drive, hitting 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in roughly 5 seconds. That's hot hatch territory. The suspension is tuned more for comfort, but thanks to the low battery placement, the car still feels planted in corners. Steering response is light but accurate, making it perfect for tight city streets and parking. The Model 1 also gets Tesla's improved regenerative braking system with multiple modes. Battery and range are a major selling point. The standard range gives you around 350 kilometers depending on driving habits, while the long-range version pushes closer to 460 kilometers. For a small EV with a relatively small battery, these numbers are extremely competitive. And charging is quick. The Model 1 supports up to 170 kilowatts fast charging. Add a Tesla supercharger, you can go from 10% to 80% in about 20 minutes. For daily use, most owners will just charge at home overnight. When it comes to price, this is where Tesla shakes up the industry. The Model 1 is expected to start around $24,000 in the United States, maybe even a bit lower with incentives. That undercuts most of its competitors, especially when you consider the technology you're getting. International pricing will vary, but most regions should see it land between $22,000 and $28,000 depending on taxes. The long-range AWD model will cost more, probably around $30,000 to $32,000, for what the car offers: a range, tech, design, and the Tesla ecosystem. This pricing is going to put huge pressure on other automakers. This is exactly the kind of EV that could bring millions of new buyers into the electric world. So after spending time with the 2026 Tesla Model 1, what's the final verdict? This car isn't trying to be luxurious, and it's not trying to be the fastest Tesla ever built. What it's trying to do is bring electric driving to the mainstream with a car that's affordable, efficient, stylish, and easy to live with. And in those areas, it delivers extremely well. Sure, it has the usual Tesla quirks: the touchscreen heavy controls, the potential for inconsistent build quality, and a rear seat that could use a bit more space. But overall, this feels like Tesla returning to what made them exciting years ago, pushing the boundaries, offering massive value, and making EVs feel futuristic without making them expensive. If you enjoyed this full detailed review and want more brutally honest car breakdowns like this, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Car Flash. Turn on notifications so you don't miss my next reviews, comparisons, and test drives. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.